Merhabalar herkese. Hepiniz IEFTalks Webinarları'na hoş geldiniz. Bugün Hong Kong'un en iyi 5. üniversitesi de Hong Kong Polytechnic Üniversitesi hakkında öğrenmeniz gereken tüm detayları birden dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı soru cevap bölümünden yönlendirmeyi unutmayın. Yes, Mary, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Merhaba, everyone. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone see my screen okay. So, my name is Marie, and I'm from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Today, I have a pleasure to kind of telling you more about Hong Kong, why it might be a good study destination, and also at the end, I'll kind of use examples of my university to give you more information about the opportunities that we offer. So, Hong Kong. So this is probably the general image that you have in head when you think of Hong Kong. A lot of people kind of heard of the name, but don't really know what the city is about, what's the hype is about. So I'll give you a brief introduction of the city first. We are a city of China, so we are part of China. We are also one of the most international city in China. So in Hong Kong, we attract a lot of investors, we attract a lot of companies, international talent to come and live with us because not only Hong Kong opens to the world, offer a lot of opportunity, it's also a main channel if you want to be having a business or getting connection in, the fast opportunity that offered in China. As an international city, meaning that Hong Kong is also the only city in China that has both Chinese and English as the official languages. So if you don't speak any Chinese or Cantonese, that's absolutely fine because when you're in the city, all the signs, the menu, everywhere you go, you'll see both English and Chinese. In daily life in Hong Kong, we speak mostly Cantonese, but a lot of us speak very fluent English as well. And that's the very important thing because if you want to come study in Hong Kong, all of the program in the public funded university, they are all taught in English. So you don't need any background in Chinese to come study in Hong Kong. And in a very small city, Hong Kong is a very small city. Last time I checked, we're actually 5 times smaller than Istanbul. So excluding, the suburban side, we're talking about only the city population, a city size, we're still 5 times smaller than Istanbul. So it's a very, very small city. It's very well connected. I think we have less traffic jam compared to last time when I visited Istanbul. But it's a very beautiful city. Like Istanbul, you can see we have a harbor, a much smaller one compared to size. But when I visited, it kind of reminds me of Hong Kong as well. And in that such small city, there are 8 government-funded universities. So 8 public universities. PolyU, my university, is one of them. And among the 8 universities, 5 of us are ranked the top 100 in the world. So you can kind of imagine in such a, dense city, the amount of high quality education that we offer to students is really hard to find anywhere else. I'm going to go into the points more detailedly in a few slides, but now we're going to move on another point. So you probably heard of Hong Kong before because we are always ranked at number 3 in the world for a very long time in the Global Financial Center Index, meaning Hong Kong is one of the most global financial center in the world. We are right after New York and London, so being number 1 in Asia Pacific. So I would say if you do want to, expand or explore your opportunity in Asia, I think we're definitely one of the first choice. And again, because of these data here also explain why we attract so many multinational corporates company to kind of have their bases in Hong Kong, especially if they want to have their business in Asia. This is probably quite new for you. So a lot of people, when they think about Hong Kong, they think of, the city, they think of a lot of tall buildings like Legoland. They might think about, very old school Kung Fu movie as well. But not many people would know is that we actually have a lot of beautiful nature, a lot of beautiful beaches, hiking trails and all that. So in fact, 40% of our land is reserved for country parks. So just a fun fact right here. So it's not only always about tall buildings. So now going to more details for Hong Kong. So Hong Kong, generally speaking, is a very safe city. If you go into different rankings about, best student city or safest city in the world, smart city, for example, you'll find Hong Kong on the list. We have remarkably low crime rate. It's a very well-connected city. So most of the time, we don't really drive. We use the public transportation, and the city really does never sleeps. There's a lot of not only entertainment, but restaurant open to late night, 24 hours, McDonald's and all that. It's a very bustling city as well. So again, as I mentioned, both Chinese and English are the official languages, and English is the official teaching medium at all government-funded universities. So this is a chart to kind of tell you how international the city is. So again, we do attract a lot of international talent to come work and live in Hong Kong. Secondly, as I mentioned, we are the only city in China that kind of opened up to the world. Great connection in Asia because we're located quite in the center, about 4 to 5 hours away from most of the very important cities in Asia. For example, we're 2 hours away from Singapore, from Thailand. We are 2 hours away from a lot of major cities in China. We are about 4 to 5 hours away from Japan and Korea. So really, we're been a quite good location. And one of the reasons that we also attract that many companies, corporates to have their base in Hong Kong is because we have a very, very simple and low tax system. So you notice a lot of companies will have some sort of headquarters or their finance centers in Hong Kong because of that. And that means that would create a lot of working opportunities for not only Hong Kong citizens, but our international students. So I'll also touch on that later on from the data from my universities. And another thing is Hong Kong government in general is really, really have that big insight and trying to develop, also maintain Hong Kong as one of the most international education hub in the world. So we're getting a lot of funding support from the government. You will see that in the middle point, we have add on more budget to something that we call the Belt and Road Scholarship. So Turkey is one of the Belt and Road country, which means the student will be able to enjoy that Belt and Road Scholarship if they're high achieving. And also, we used to have a 20% quota in terms of the non-local students that we can take in. And just from last year, the government have doubled it to 40%. So which means we're expecting to welcome more and more international students to come and study with us in Hong Kong. So I mentioned there are 8 government-funded universities, and you can see in the last point there, in total, there are over 700 scholarship schemes. So these schemes comes in different sizes, they come in different amount, and of course, different requirement. But I think it's quite crazy that we have that amount of schemes available just from that 8 government-funded university. So you can kind of picture about, the scholarship opportunities, funding opportunities that students could get when they study in Hong Kong. Thirdly, about visa. So sometimes students, they're quite concerned on student visa and of course about, if they want to stay in a city afterward just to explore the opportunities. Different places, they have different policy. And I think Hong Kong, we're probably one of the most welcome one compared to what's happening in other popular destination lately. So basically, when a student applies to us, most of the degrees are 4-year degree. The university will support the visa application process. So they apply through the university and we kind of handle it directly with the immigration department. So during the 4-year study, by using their student visa, student actually allows to work on and off campus during semester time and of course summertime as well. And if they want to stay in Hong Kong afterwards, after they graduate, they can stay behind for another 2 years. So that's kind of, they just need to extend it. It's very easy. We have no limitation. They don't need to look for a job first. They don't need to, secure something first. They can just spend the 2 years, explore their opportunities in Hong Kong. If they like Hong Kong very, very much, they even want to stay behind and get like a permanent residency, that's possible. We need a total of 7 years of stay. So the 4-year degree counts and then add on 2-year extended visa. They only need another year to get that permanent residency. So I think that's, again, a very welcoming policy for international students. So I mentioned there are 8 government-funded universities. Here are all 8 of us right here. We all specialize, well, we all kind of offer, different programs. We have different application timeline, very similar timeline, but different dates. So we operate separately. Unlike the UK or US, we don't have a common app or a UCAS system to do applications. So when a student thinking to apply to Hong Kong, they have to apply to us individually. They have to check the programs, check the requirement. Each university have different standards and again, different application date as well. So I recommend you to have a look at this university because we do offer a lot of programs and obviously I'm sure you can find something that you like from some of us. So I'm not going to go through the detail of them because I'm from only one of them, I can't speak for all of the university here, but I will give you more detail about the Hong Kong Polytechnic University in the later slides. And of course, speaking of the fees, so again, I think we compared to the traditionally more popular destination like the UK, US, Canada, Australia, Hong Kong definitely stand as still quite a more affordable options. But again, different universities have different tuition fee in Hong Kong, and that's just the estimated amount that a student would spend per year, including tuition, including their living expenses, their accommodation. So that's just a reference for you. And again, I'll go into details on the scholarships and funding opportunities that we offer at my university specifically. So here's a map of Hong Kong. As I mentioned, we're a very small city, very well connected, very safe. So the gray dots there are the different universities in Hong Kong. You can see kind of all, in different areas of Hong Kong. You have some of them by the sea, you have some of them up in the mountain. For PolyU, my university, we're quite lucky. We're actually right in downtown in a very convenient location. We are literally 30 seconds away from museums, a lot of shopping malls and, restaurants nearby. So if you like to be in the city, I think we are probably one of the best options in Hong Kong. And here's is a picture of my campus. So this shows about, I would say, 60% of it would still have more buildings nearby. So we are ranging from that, big ship-like looking building all the way you see that shiny tall building at the back. So that's our hotel school, and the big ship buildings of School of Design, but the red bricks there, those are all our university facilities. So again, we are really right in a city center, but they're all grouped together. So it's a gated campus. You need a student ID to get in, and you can walk through all of the facilities, a lot of great labs and sports facilities as well. So some quick facts about the university. We are English teaching. We are quite a big size university. We're actually hosting currently over 32,000 students from all levels. So it's quite a large size university. We are almost 90 years old. So quite an experienced university. Like I mentioned, most of the UG degree are 4-year degree. And we have some really good rankings here. We're currently ranking 57 in the world. And let me show you. And we have 10 faculties in school offering UG degrees. So the name Polytechnic can be confusing because a lot of students would thought we only offer science and technology. However, we started as a mechanical engineering institute of almost 90 years ago, but we have become a university for quite a long time, and we offer more than just science and engineering. The list is very long. We cover from business, humanities, health sciences, again, hotel design, fashion, you name it. But these are the 10 faculties and schools that offering UG program. And ranking-wise, as I mentioned, we are ranked the top 100 for, quite some years now. And currently we're in 57 in the latest QS World Ranking. And we also have some pretty strong subject rankings. So these are the ones that we are ranked, top across different ranking system in the world right now. And the ones that in red that we are ranked at #1 in Hong Kong. So I guess generally speaking, we're quite well known for design, hospitality, engineering, specifically architecture, civil engineering, marketing, and of course, some health sciences program as well. So now I'm going to tell you a few things that is quite special at my university, and also why would it matters for international student. So the first thing here is about exposure to AI and also entrepreneurship. So before ChatGPT is even a thing, we have already embedded AI to all of our undergraduate programs. So no matter what you study at PolyU, design, humanities, you will have an introductory course in AI and data analytics, as well as innovation and entrepreneurship. So you will have that basic knowledge in those areas. So obviously AI is broadly used this day, not only for engineering and science. So we want to make sure all of our students, no matter what field they're in, they have that basic knowledge on how to use it professionally and of course ethically. Same applies to entrepreneurship. So nowadays, not everyone wants to be, an employee. A lot of you have great ideas. You have, idea to kind of make the difference and impact the society. So it kind of helps you to know how to bring those ideas to real life with different support as well. So these two modules, again, are compulsory as an introductory course, but some of the degree choices that we offer allows you to take it as a secondary major. So you could be graduating, for example, in marketing with a secondary major in AI and data analytics. So that's just an example of the things that we offer. Secondly, PolyU is quite well known for prepping our students for their future careers. So we are one of the first university in Hong Kong to make internship compulsory. So again, no matter what you study at PolyU, business, engineering, design, every one of our undergraduate students has to do an internship before they graduate. So it's something that is fully supported by the university. We prep you with your CV. We have mock interviews for you. We have career talks, career fairs to help you to find the right opportunities. And of course, we keep on posting those that are relevant to you. And these opportunities are not only in Hong Kong, they can be overseas, they can be in mainland China, in Europe, and US. You are also allowed to look for your own opportunity as long as it's relevant to your major. So if you want to go back, if you have connection, you want to go back and work in Turkey, that's absolutely fine. You just need to get it signed by your department. So I think that's really important because having an internship before you graduate, not only helping you to get something on your CV, it's also the process of helping you to know how and where to look for the job that suits you, what you like, what you don't like. The industry is vast. And of course, to get those connections before you even leaving the university. So because of that, we have a very high graduate employment rate. So it's always over 90%, and the latest one currently is 98.7%. So most of our students would have at least one job offer before they even graduate. It's something that we're really proud of, and our students are often very confident before they're leaving the campus. So here's the average starting salary for you for your reference, but that's the overall, across different disciplined average. Here are some of the big names that our students have conducted their internship in, just for your reference. And here kind of shows you the location that our student went for their internship. So you can see it's really across the globe. For those overseas internship, they are always paid. Not very well paid sometimes because an internship. So if you're doing your internship outside of Hong Kong, you can apply for like a subsidy or some, subsidy kind of support. Again, your daily expenses as well. So just for your reference. And as I mentioned, so your student visa allowed you to stay in Hong Kong for another 2 years, which means a lot of our students, especially non-local international students, they will prefer to work in Hong Kong after they graduate. So this kind of show you about 28% of our graduate in 2023 actually currently living and working in Hong Kong. 45% of them though, so most of them actually choose to do a master degree. So it could be in Hong Kong. You could do it in other universities in Hong Kong or with us in PolyU. You can also do it elsewhere in the world. So sometimes students, because they're not very familiar with Hong Kong, they would ask me, would the degree be recognized, and elsewhere? I wouldn't worry at all. First, because we are really highly ranked in the world. Secondly, we have student alumni doing their master degree in places like Stanford, Cornell, Imperial College. So is widely recognized by a lot of university in the world as well. And about 27% of them will choose to move back to their home country or immigrant to other places. And the other thing that is compulsory in PolyU is called service learning. So this is kind of the fun one. I often speak to international students and ask them what's their favorite experience. They always say service learning. So this one here, it doesn't have to be relevant to your study. You can actually pick one of the project subject that we offer that you're interested in. And you go learn a new skills with students from different disciplines and go on and help people in need. So most of these service learning projects are taking place outside of Hong Kong. So for example, we have engineering student went to teach English in Taiwan, teach young children English in Taiwan. We have business student went to Vietnam or Cambodia to provide basic health education or eyesight screening. We have humanities student went to Rwanda, Africa to provide help in installing the solar panel in the local villages to help them to generate electricity. So there are different projects, and you will learn a lot. You will learn how to apply the theory you learn in class into the real world. You will learn that nothing really goes as planned, and you have to come up with new ideas. So it's really a very fun kind of project and a good exposure for you as well. So again, this is compulsory and you are required to complete it, within a 4 year before you graduate. So something that is special at my university. And then we have different global learning opportunities. So the most common one that you would think of is exchange. We have a lot of exchange opportunity at our partner university all around the world. So currently we have about over 300 exchange partners, and over 70% of them actually located outside of Asia. So we have exchange opportunity in semester time. We have exchange opportunity in summertime. So it's very, very common for our students to have at least one overseas learning exposure. It's currently not compulsory, but we're hoping maybe in the future we can make it compulsory as well. So it's a very fruitful 4 years for our undergraduate students. And these overseas learning opportunity are all funded by the university, depending on how far you'll be away for and how long you'll be away for. So we also have a very competitive summer program at Oxford. So at one of the colleges in University of Oxford at Cambridge, we send our student there every summer. These opportunity, you have to apply for them. We will do interview with you. We might look at your GPAs or the different requirement, but you will definitely find something that works for you. And these are just some of the partner university that we have. Again, some big names here. And now into the more practical things. What should you do if you want to apply to study in Hong Kong? So we normally look at, for my university, PolyU, we normally look at a few things. So for example, we need your general requirement, which I'll have more details in the next slide. We have an English requirement because we are an English speaking university, teaching university. And some program might have specific requirement like portfolio, personal statement, and some of them will do an interview with you as well, online interview. So for the admission requirement for Turkey, we do accept a local Turkish diploma. You can see it right here. I would say minimum 75, which seems very achievable for, I think, most of our Turkish students. We have a growing Turkish community right here, and I'm happy to say that they're all doing very well currently. But this is only for your reference, because in the future, we might increase depending on the performance that we see from our current student. But that's just for your reference again. And this is only the minimum requirement. Obviously, we expect, for some program, they might expect a higher score. And of course, for scholarship requirement, we also expect a higher score as well. We also accept other international curriculum like IB, A-level, or the US curriculum or more. There's a very long list and available online. And for English, it's most common to take IELTS or TOEFL. We accept those too. But again, if you're doing an international curriculum, we can also look at your English grade in IB or like A-level, IGCSE, SAT as well. So again, the full list is also available online. So here is the fee structure, just for your reference. Normally I would have it in local currency, but I think the exchange rate has been frustrated changing a lot lately. So I have it in USD here for your reference. We have the fee, the second fee, dormitory, that's the on-campus accommodation. We currently guarantee the first year of stay in our on-campus housing. You might need to look for a private accommodation in your second year, so that fee will go up a little bit. So please do budget for that. I would say range from, again, a total expenses per year range from 31,000 US dollars to like 36,000 US dollars. So just for your reference as well. We are building new student halls and hopefully will be available in 2027. So we should be able to cater more spaces, room spaces for our international students. So now, scholarship. As I mentioned earlier, the Hong Kong government offered the Belt and Road Scholarship, and Turkey is part of the Belt and Road country, so they would be applicable for that scholarship, and students, they don't need to apply for it. The university will nominate qualified student to the government for that scholarship. So it's a an extra scholarship. So that usually cover the full tuition of the international student, depending on the university they're applying to. And for my university, we offer different types of scholarships. It's quite a decent list here. So the most common one and most generous one will be the academic entry scholarship. So you don't need to apply for that one. We actually look at your grades. If you're qualified, we will automatically offer you the academic entry scholarship. Your offer letter will show the different tiers that we offer. So you can see here, it's basically around 3 tiers. It starts from a half tuition fee waiver, which means 50% off the tuition fee, up to a full tuition fee waiver plus living allowance. So these scholarships are renewable, which means it will cover the whole duration of your degree as long as you maintain a good GPA in PolyU, which is usually 3.2 out of 4. We also have a non-academic entry scholarship sharing the same tiers from half tuition up to full tuition plus living allowance. So the non-academic one, we focus on areas like sports, art and culture, leadership, community services, and STEM program. So the non-academic one, you do need to apply for it actively and provide the awards, competition, the achievements that you got in those areas. And we'll look at your application in a holistic way, case by case, and you will be invited for an interview if you get shortlisted. Other than that, we have a cultural ambassador scholarship for diversity, and of course, exchange scholarships as well. For those who get an academic entry scholarship, you will automatically get the exchange scholarship as well. So you can see there are different type of scholarship available. A little bit more information about the non-academic scholarship, which is a special talent one, we call it STARS. So there are different areas, and you can see the brown golden-ish box there kind of show the example of our awardees' achievements. So that the competition that they have completed or the activity that they have done that got them the non-academic scholarship as well. So just for your reference. So as I mentioned, different universities in Hong Kong have different application timeline. It's very similar, but we all have kind of a different date. So for most of us, we open application 1 year in advance. So for example, if you want to apply for 2026 entry, 2026 September entry, you can apply in 2025 September. So we only have one entry for undergraduate program. It's always in September. We don't have January, we don't have spring intake, and we do an early round and a main round application. So application are usually on rolling at PolyU. So it's kind of like a first come first serve. The earlier you apply, the earlier you will get an offer, the earlier you can secure the offer. So please don't ask me about questions about acceptance rates, because that doesn't really apply to us when we do an on rolling basis. If you apply, you got an offer, then you can secure the place. Is that simple. It's on rolling. We do have an extended round till May. So if you are hoping to apply for this September entry, you want to join university in this September 2025, you can still apply. The deadline is 15th of May. So we'll close the portal on 15th of May. I do have to say, because it's the extended round, so you should apply as early as possible. And we will normally make decision within 1 to 2 months. In Hong Kong, there's also another thing. We don't really give up rejections because it's an on-rolling basis. So even if you didn't hear from us after the first round, your application will still be considered, with the applicant from the next pool, from the next round. So it's first come, first serve. If you didn't hear from us by July, then you can consider the application unsuccessful. I mentioned about the non-academic scholarship, which is called STARS. So STARS has a separate deadline. Unfortunately, for this year, is already closed. But if you're looking for a future entry, and you do have some non-academic special talent achievements, so be sure to keep in mind of the STAR deadline is always kind of in January. So application is very straightforward. It's all online. You submit an application online. You provide the current documents that you have. We don't need your final results when you apply to us because we make conditional offer. So you will see the grades, the final grades that we need clearly on your offer letter. And again, if you are awarded with a scholarship, it will be clearly stated on the offer letter, the grades that we required and the amount of scholarship that you can get. So that's pretty much for me. It's quite a long presentation. I'm very thankful for your attention. I think Instagram or YouTube is a great way to kind of have a glimpse of the PolyU campus life. So be sure to follow us if you can. And I will take any questions that you might have right now. If you can type them into the chat box, I believe, or the Q&A. I see some questions in the Q&A already. So I'm happy to kind of answer those questions as well. So just let me kind of share my screen a little bit. Okay. So I'll go into the Q&A. Again, please feel free to ask any question that you might have, and I'll try to answer all of them. So the first questions that I got is about the social life in Hong Kong. Social life, that's a great question because I think Hong Kong is a place that kind of cater different personality. If you want to go out, if you enjoy a good life, we have a lot of, nice bars and restaurant and cafe as well. If you are more of an introvert, you want to stay home or do things that is more quiet and peaceful, we have a lot of nice places by the harbor for you to chill. If you want to do a picnic, that's possible. If you just want to be in a library or museums, we have a lot of choices as well. So I think the choices is there. But I have heard comment from our Turkish student. They felt Hong Kong people are more shy and independent and more cold in some way compared to Turkish people. And that I do agree because I feel very welcome every time I visit Turkey. And I guess I can see why, because I see a lot of Turkish people are very sociable and that do make a comparison. So be prepared for that a little bit. So the second question asks about how big is the university and its campus. So I wouldn't say we are very large campus in terms of the size, but we definitely host a lot of students, and technically we are in the city, so we kind of have the whole city as well. So everything is in walking distance. You don't need a bus to your next lecture. You don't need to wait kind of in the heat for that, and we have a very nice covered walkway that connect the accommodation and also the main campus. So everything is kind of walking distance and is very convenient located. The third question asks about, do you recommend on-campus or off-campus living? So I think first year on campus is guaranteed. So definitely, stay on campus because that's the prime time for you to make friends, to enjoy those kind of, freshman activities, to really get to know the city and also the campus. So I would definitely recommend doing that in the first year. Second, third year, it really depends. If you have made good friends, you want to have a bigger place because, on-campus accommodation rooms are pretty small. So you want a bigger place, maybe like a few stations away from the campus because we are centrally located. You can choose to do that. And also bear in mind, you will have a lot of time outside of Hong Kong as well. If you want to do an internship overseas, you might want to go on exchange. You might spend 2 weeks for your service learning abroad during summertime. So there are a lot of opportunities for you, not only in Hong Kong, but outside. So it's really, based on your preference. But my advice, definitely stay at least for the, first or second year. That would really help you to kind of make those, friendship beautiful connections. So there's a question, is it possible at university while I have some course in progress? I'm so sorry, I'm not sure if I understand that question specifically. If you can type it in again, maybe explain a little bit more, and I'll try to answer that as well. The next question is, do you have a career support unit at the university? Yes, we do. So we have a career placement office, which is very supportive. So they host the major events, career talks, career fairs as well. So you will find a lot of job opportunities, part-time, full-time, on campus, off campus, provided by them. And they will also tell you, for example, this company is looking for a student with a certain background, maybe in engineering, maybe in business, maybe in languages. So they kind of let you know as well. But your department, your faculty, they will have their connection too, because as I mentioned, we are one of the first that have internship as a compulsory module within the degree. So it's very common for the companies to come back every year and looking for new interns. So there are a vast support from different units in the university. And then I see another question. Can I change my major after I am admitted to university? What if I failed at classes continuously? So Hong Kong, the curriculum, or at least for PolyU, we're kind of like a mix of the US and the UK. So like the US, we are 4-year, but we are not as flexible as the US. We're kind of like the UK, where we focus heavily on the major, on the program that you choose. So most of the time, the first year will kind of be an introduction year, a fundamental year where you get to be exposed to the things that is offered within that discipline. And throughout the 4 years, you get opportunity again to do a lot of different things: internship, service learning, exchange. So it's a very packed 4 years, but heavily focused on your major as well. If you do want to change your major, you can apply for it, but it's not encouraged, and also it can be quite difficult. You might have to start from scratch. So I wouldn't say it's commonly done in Hong Kong. And for failing classes, we have a lot of different support. So you'll be assigned with an academic advisor as a one-on-one kind of service. And if you see yourself struggling at any stage, you can always reach out for help. And if at the end, unfortunately, you do fail some exams or classes, you are allowed to re-exam or retake them. There might be an extra course. I'm not completely sure on that, but re-exams, retakes, those are possible. But I would say definitely seek help in advance if you feel like yourself is struggling in early stages. Another questions from Tuna. So it asks about, for fall admission, can I, as a community college student, take summer courses prior to starting? So unfortunately, we don't have we have a summer semester, but for intake from starting the year, you can only start in September. So summer semester is for you to kind of pick up classes or do your lab hours if you're engineering students on campus. So for example, some of our students might do a full-time internship during semester time. So they might have to pick up their classes in evening time or maybe summertime. So those are how we utilize our summer semester. You'll find that the degree in Hong Kong are really quite fruitful and packed compared to other places. And then we have another question. Is it necessary to finish the year above a certain grade in order to retain the scholarship for next year? Yes, correct. So you do have what we call a renewal condition. So if you are awarded within scholarship, you have to maintain a good GPA during your study with us. So it's usually 3.2 out of 4 is the average GPA for the whole year. If you slightly fall short of that 3.2, we won't stop the scholarship right away. We actually give you a probation period for you to catch up. But even after that period, you couldn't really maintain the 3.2, then we'll stop issuing the scholarship for you. So that's generally, the cases for our scholarship awardees. But most of them wouldn't really have a problem maintaining it However, again, if you see yourself struggling, do please seek help as early as possible. How large is the Turkish community in university? 2 people, 100 people? We currently, I don't have the data for postgraduate, but for undergraduate, I think we're looking at about 25, and we're expecting more to join us this year. So it's a growing number, and is I think our current Turkish student did a great job in promoting Hong Kong and the university. So they're the ones who really advocating their experience in Hong Kong. So it's definitely a growing community, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have a Turkish Student Association very soon. But currently, I think it's about 25, less than 30 in undergraduate level, excluding postgraduate level. So yes, I wouldn't say it's a huge community right now, but definitely a growing one, for sure. And I see that's currently the last questions. So do you offer admissions for international students thinking of doing a second bachelor degree? Are there any scholarship offered for such second degree student? That's actually a very good question. So our scholarship, entry scholarship, actually prioritized for high school students. So if you have done a bachelor degree already, normally you wouldn't be automatically considered for the academic entry scholarship. However, departments, depending on which department you're applying to, they have their departmental scholarship. So they could be, they'll want to decide whether they would offer the student if they see a high potential or like high achieving student. But generally speaking, for the university level entry scholarship, we prioritize high school students for sure. So I think I don't see any more questions for now.
Yes, Mary, thank you very much for the
Thank
great
you.
presentation. And we received a lot of questions. We covered all of them. And thank you for your answer. Could you please share an email address on the chat box so the participants have further questions, they can contact you later?
Yes. I didn't catch you completely, but I think that's if there's any further questions, we can answer them later. Is that what you said?
If you could share your email address on the chat box. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And they can, yes, contact me if you have more questions afterwards. Let me do that.
And in the meantime, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Hong Kong Polytechnic Üniversitesi ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için chat kısmında paylaşılmış olan mail adresinden Mary'e her zaman ulaşabilirsiniz. Bir sonraki webinarlarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you very much again, Mary. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFTalks.
Thank you for having me. Teşekkürler.
Teşekkürler. Yes, thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.